Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Nighttime Show live at Hollywood Improv. And man, oh 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 man, are you going to love this?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. The three of us are sitting here, but Mike Black actually couldn't make it, so we just turned on the autopilot for him, and Otto's sitting right next to us. It's very cool.
Yeah, he's doing great. Otto is the best.
Love Otto.
But you know who's better than Otto is the star of Airplane, Robert Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
He
took over for Otto.
This is one of my favorite. Guests that we've had recently because he revealed a whole bunch of stuff I did not know about the movie.
Very cool. Big fans of his career in various aspects. Like I'm probably the only person left that remembers watching Angie, but I loved Angie with him.
Oh my God, you're so old.
It was a good show.
We bring.
And there's a big surprise that I bring up. That was a lot of fun that we got to watch a video from.
Yes. But before we do that, I'm going to read you some text messages from Robert Hayes.
He's hilarious.
Because Robert Hayes doesn't have social media, so I feel like this isn't the only way it's going to get shared.
And he's hilarious.
He is so funny. So I wrote him to let him. We spoke on the phone, and he was so kind. And what was amazing is he's going through kind of a very hard time. He didn't bring it up on the show at all, and we didn't bring it up because we wanted to let him do it if he was going to. But his house burned down in the Malibu fires recently.
Very tragic.
And so he lost like his entire house and all his stuff. So he's been, I believe, living with his girlfriend and living in Malibu and stuff still. But you know, it's a tricky situation. So we were like, I was trying to keep it real light with him when we were talking on the phone first. And I said to him, "Wow, Robert, that we're going to have a great time with you. We feel so lucky, and we're going to show clips, from your history." And he goes, "If you happen to need clips of all my work, I happen to have clips from all my work." And I go, "Really? Wow, that's amazing." And he goes, "Sorry, let me rephrase that. I had clips of all my work. I no longer have clips of all my work," right?
Luckily, there's the internet.
Oh, God. So he's so funny, right? So then I wrote him right before the show. I wrote him on Wednesday. Our show Saturday night, 10:30, big show, Hollywood Improv. So I wrote him and said, "Hey, just wanted to let you know, we're very much looking forward to Saturday. This is going to be so exciting. Just want to make sure you have all the info." He goes, "Absolutely. I got it. 10:30 Saturday morning. Can't wait. I'll be up and fresh." I write back, No. 10:30 p.m. He writes back, "Aye. And then he writes, "I'll drag myself in. The old age home shuts down at 9, so I'll have to sneak out." And then he sends me this picture, Matt, which I know you'll appreciate.
It's a picture of him basically screaming
and going, "Me when I realized it was PM." And so then I said, "This picture is amazing. I'm framing it. I'm on my way to Aaron Brothers." And he wrote back, "I have an account there. Use mine. My account is another stupid fucking picture. That's how I'm registered. .com." And so then I said, "That's so great. I just started checking the website, and my God, there are so many dick pics like this one." And then I sent him a picture of Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Right. And then he wrote back, "Haha, you got me. See you there. Can't wait." And then he showed up, and he was fantastic.
Charming, a joy to be around. Just
so nice and so cool, way cooler than I thought someone could be.
Still very sharp. He has lots of steps.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He deserves to have many, many more.
And next year is the 40th anniversary of Airplane.
Well, we need to do something for that. We got to do something huge for that. We got to figure out what that is. But listen to the episode.
Let's rent an airplane, not have an actual pilot on it, and have somebody in one of the passengers land it. That's what we should do.
These are all ideas.
Yes.
Listen to the Nighttime Show with Robert Hayes live at Hollywood Improv right now.
Nighttime Show, the Nighttime Show, Nighttime Show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our host, a man who finally has an excuse to eat all that birthday cake. Put your hands together for Stephen Kramer. gentlemen, have we got a show for you? To my left, Mike Glazer, man in the audience, making it happen.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you for coming.
To my right, the voice of the nighttime show, Mr. Mike Black. Down at the end, the redhead who never stops driving me crazy, who won't start driving until I put my seatbelt on, Mr. Matt Walker, everybody. Give it up. Who's here from KLOS? Who's 95.5? Wow. Love it. Okay, guys.
You can tell just by looking at them which ones are KLOS.
Oh, Jesus,
like that guy in
Matt.
the corner,
So
they have 100% KLOS.
They got a classic rock vibe. They really do. Guys, the Nighttime Show is a live podcast with wonderful guests. We got celebrity guests. Are you guys excited? Yeah! All right. Now, Mike Glazer's going to be out in the audience taking questions from you guys, but we need to start this damn show off because we got a big show. So let's start this bitch. You guys ready?
Let's get it going.
All right, Mike. Here we go.
Our first guest starred in one of the greatest comedy parody films of all time. This movie was made for $3.2 million in 1980 and made more than $130 million worldwide. I can't read it with your fat fucking hand in front of me. Making it a landmark success. Let's watch our guest in the trailer for the movie Airplane.
Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to laugh out loud.
Jim never vomits at home.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Johnny, what can you make out of this? This? Well, I can make a cap, or a brooch, or a pterodactyl.
R-E-S-P-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-C-T, take out TCP, suck to me, suck to me, suck to me, suck to me, suck to me.
Leslie Nielsen and Robert Hayes had an all-star cast that take off on a hilarious flight. Watch out for Airplane.
Please welcome Captain Ted Stryker himself, Robert Hayes.
Bring him on up here. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going, folks. Keep it going. Here he comes. Keep it going. Wow, Robert Hayes, this is a pretty fucking big deal, man. Yeah. This is a big deal. We are big fans of you, sir.
BFFs?
BFFs. Big effing fans. We are. How are things going in your life? Tell us a little bit what's been happening in your life, Robert.
I've been trying to figure out how to work this thing. No, I've just been kind of hanging out. Just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging.
Just hanging. Yeah.
We recently reviewed the tape. We went back and rewatched the tape, and it is a tape. Airplane. This fucking movie.
You do realize that next year is the 40th anniversary.
Oh my God.
So I'm just inviting everybody right now. I'm just inviting everyone. We're having a huge party. At your house.
I love it.
Start cleaning today.
I have it on Bluetooth.
You got it on Laserdisc, right? Okay, good.
Let's talk about that film. How did you end up getting cast in that movie? How did you come about being in a film like this?
Well, they had been looking all over the place, all over the country, apparently. They had the first person that came to mind when they decided to write the script was Robert Stack and Elliot Ness. That's who they wanted.
Yeah.
And then Lloyd Bridges, and Lloyd said, no, I don't want to do that. And his kids talked him into it. And Peter Graves said, this thing is tasteless. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And his kids talked him into it. And but they were all on, but they couldn't find Elaine or Ted. And they had some apparently fairly well-known people that auditioned for it, or they were thinking about.
Who were you kind of up against during this?
Well, I mean, the studio wanted Barry Manilow.
Oh my God!
That's
really?
Yeah, but he didn't. Apparently, I don't think he screen tested.
That is a whole other flight.
They went. Yeah, it would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But they had David Letterman screen test, and
oh my God! What?
They apparently announced that they had signed Chevy Chase to do it. And
holy shit!
Before they ever decided to do it, but the studio decided to say that. But there were all kinds of people that they were thinking of. But what they wanted was they didn't want a comedian. They didn't want somebody that was funny, that was known as being funny, because people would say, "Oh, okay, it's going to be funny. What's he going to do?"
Right.
They wanted it to be straight and unknown people.
Yeah.
And I was doing a series which apparently wasn't doing very well.
I watched Angie in reruns.
Yes.
I liked it.
They had never seen it. I went in, my agent, Arnie Soloway, had a new agent that had just come to work in the office named Beth Voicu. And she had worked with Howard Koch, who was the exec producer, had been in charge of Paramount Studios. And they put him in charge of the boys because they'd never done a film before. Yeah. And so she called Howard up, and they'd been LA, New York, Kansas City, Chicago, Seattle, Minneapolis, Dallas, everywhere.
Yeah.
And called him up and said, "I got your Ted Stryker." And he said, "Bring him in." So I went in and met the guys, and we called them the boys, and we got along great. And I read, and they liked my reading. And then they said, "Let's do a screen test." And I got to do it with Julie, which was the greatest thing for me because she's great.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So we did the screen test, and then they cast me. Then they came over and backstage at Angie when I was doing the show, and we were rehearsing or taping, and we went behind the set, behind the psych, and they said, "Okay, you're the one." And so we rolled the kids, and we jumped up and down quietly, and then they said, as they were walking out, Abrams told me that he turned to Jerry and David and said, "He's doing this show, Angie. We got to watch this and see what he's, So they watched it, and they said, "Oh no," because it's a totally different kind of a thing. It's a sitcom.
Yeah.
It's not what we did with Airplane. So anyway, that's how we did it. And we did it, and they saw the dailies, and they said, "Oh, okay, well, it's okay."
Who were some of your favorite of the character? You had there were so many great character actors in that movie. Who were some of your favorites to work with?
Well, I had worked with Bob Stack before, and he was one of my favorites that I've ever met in Hollywood. And Leslie was great, Leslie Nielsen. And, I don't know how many people know that, but he had a fart machine that was legendary, became legendary. And Lloyd was wonderful, and Peter Graves became good friends with Peter too, and he was wonderful.
Man.
And Julie, I still keep in touch with Julie, and she was. Everybody was great. Everyone was great. Lorna Patterson played Randy, the other stewardess. She's fantastic. I mean, everybody was so talented. And you think about the ones that I was reading once about Sigourney Weaver had auditioned. She came in a stewardess outfit, I think, and auditioned. Oh my God! She wanted it. Wow. Which she's a really wonderful actress, but that would have been a different kind of a
very different again.
But Julie, I can't even imagine anybody other than Julie doing that role.
Oh yeah. She's fantastic.
Yeah. So, and it was, it was rough. It was lousy having to go in. If you like going in to work and laughing your ass off all day long, it could be fun, I suppose.
Because I got to ask about that because when you watch the movie, everything's deadpan, and you guys never break on camera at least. Was that difficult to do as an actor?
The hardest scene for me was when I came into the cockpit and Leslie said, "Can you fly this plane?" And I said, "Shirley, you can't be serious." He said, "I am serious, don't call me Shirley." Yeah. And then Lorna came in, and he said again, "Can you, Mr. Stryker, can you land this plane?" And I said, "Well, this plane, I flew single-engine fighters in the war, but this plane has 4 engines. That's an entirely different kind of flying altogether."
Yeah.
And altogether, they said, it's an entirely different kind of flying. And then they did my close-up, and the entire time, he had this little thing, it was in his palm, And the whole time it was, Mr. Stryker, can you land this plane? And that was the hardest day I had. That was the most difficult. But also, that's what I not too long before I'd come from theater. And in the theater, you learn how to control yourself. I mean, you can't really crack up. Cut, let's go again. You don't get that. Yeah. So we held it together pretty well.
Also, I think the only movie maybe in history that has had a basketball player as a star and was funny. Like, they've tried it a few other times.
Well,
it does not work.
You can't imagine anybody other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar doing that. But the original choice was Pete Rose.
Oh.
What? And then they thought, well, wait a minute, we're going to be shooting this, getting up close to the playoffs, and he's always in the playoffs, so we better look at somebody else. So then they said, how can we find, because it was Crazy Legs Hirsch and 0 Hour, what they based it on. And they said, how could we find an athlete that we can hire that can't act? How can we find somebody? And Kareem did a great job.
He was fantastic.
Oh, God, he was so funny.
I do kind of want to see this alternate universe airplane with Sigourney Weaver and Pete Rose and Barry Manilow.
And for the reboot. And the original for Barbara Billingsley was Beaver's mom. The original was Harriet Nelson.
Oh, my God.
And she said, I met her, one of the sweetest women in the world. And she said, I was just worried about the language. She said, I am so sorry I didn't do that. Oh, my God, man.
Matt, I know you found a clip that is an important
well,
clip.
also, in addition to Angie and Airplane, you were in another legendary show that I think we have a clip of that we're going to show right now.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at that clip. Can we watch a clip?
Forget about CBS. They are dead. Robert Hayes in the water.
What is this that we're watching, Matt?
Battle of the Network Stars.
Battle of the Network Idiots.
This is Battle of the Network Stars. Who were you battling in swimming?
Well, actually, I was battling Gil Gerard, who actually was a college swimmer.
Oh my God!
He was catching up.
And you're smoking him.
He really is. He's killing it.
I lit that puppy and smoked him.
And look at that!
Gil Gerard.
And you have Howard Cosell narrating the whole
Gil
thing.
Gerard, for those who don't know, Buck Rogers. He just schooled Buck Rogers in the ocean.
I love that so much. That is like one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah,
we had Ed Asner. It had at ABC, CBS, and NBC each had teams.
Yeah.
And they had a thing where you throw a baseball, a softball, and you would hit the thing and dunk.
Like a dunk tank.
Yeah. And I wound up and hit it twice. And the third time I wound up and I zeroed it, and Asner, each time he's saying, you're not going to do it. And by the end of it, he was, oh, please don't do it. And so I got him the third time, and Cosell was up there saying, never in the history of sports have we seen such an... So I walked over to the dunk tank, and Ed was getting out. And so I said, how much do you weigh? And he said, 285. Wow. And I grabbed him and picked him up. And he went, no, you're going to hurt your back. And I picked him up and I carried him back. And everything was great until I bent over to set him down in the chair. And I went, oh, there goes the back. And he grabbed my ears and pulled me down and kissed me on top of my head.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's how Ed Asner ruined my back.
And you were, your team, I think, was Captain Dick Van Patten in that era. If I remember
oh my God, man! We actually
took it too far, Matt.
Took it too far, Matt.
Nobody knows who Dick Van Patten is anymore.
Goddamn far. We interviewed Ed Asner in his home, and
I wouldn't have tried to pick up Ed Asner today. He's a formidable man.
Yeah, he said to us,
that more than anything else led to my drinking.
he said to us, you better make this a good question, because I got a lot of these knives hanging around. And he pulled out a fucking knife this long, and we were like, holy shit.
He did basically wherever he didn't have Emmys in his home, he had knives. It's just strange.
Those are for the people that won the Emmy instead of
exactly.
Absolutely. Matt, you and me are both stand-up comedians, and I know we both say a lot of things that are very offensive on a regular basis. Do you ever have trouble sleeping at night?
Yeah, not because of things I say though. It's just because I have lousy pillows.
Oh, okay. So you don't have like a horrible feeling of guilt sometimes for the
Never.
awful things. Oh, well, that's nice.
Never. I'm proud of the horrible things that I say to people.
That's good. That's a good way to be. Sometimes I do have trouble sleeping, or I did have trouble sleeping until I got this brand new pillow.
What kind of pillow?
I mean, this is next level stuff, Matt. This is a pillow. You've never seen a pillow like this because until recently it did not exist. It's called the buttress pillow. And it is shaped like a butt, and it has little legs, and you're not going to believe this. You got to go check it out. Thebutresspillow.com.
So it's like your face rests on a butt.
Your face is pressed into a butt crack while the legs support your neck and shoulders, basically. It
sounds comfortable.
It is very comfortable. It's ergonomic. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Ergonomic, functional, all natural, and it's absolutely beautiful. Check this out. This is from their website. Soft but supportive, with the feeling of a butt. All right, and the sweet spot is between the thighs and the cheeks, which will gently cradle your head and support your neck. Great for side sleepers, back sleepers, and stomach sleepers. It's squeezable, slappable, face variable, relieves stress, from having a long, horrible day. What do you want to do at the end of a long day?
Put your head in a butt.
That is 100% right.
Well,
you can dress it up, you can dress it down. You want to throw some PJs on it?
You convinced me, so where do I go get one of these?
You go to thebutresspillow.com, thebutresspillow.com. That's THEBUTTRESS pillow.com. Go to thebutresspillow.com, Matt, and get your sleep on. You'll have much better dreams. All right, let's get back to the show.
We got to get some questions from the audience. Mike Glazer, where you at?
I'm back here, but if anybody does have a question, just raise your hand.
Raise your hand. We got one up here up front. Hey, how are you?
Wait, can you keep your hand in the air? Because my eyes are poor, but my intentions are good. Right there? Okay, hang on. Excuse me one second, buddy.
You can put it down now.
Okay. Hi. So I'm a big fan of the original Wonder Woman series, and you're on one of my favorite episodes. So I have to say, you probably get asked this a lot, but how was Linda Carter? Was she nice? Did you get to see her and talk to her and yeah?
She was really nice. Is that good?
Nailed it.
She was really great, and the episode that I did was her sister was Wonder Lumps or whatever, Wonder Girl. Yeah, she was.
Wonder
Lumps. There's a story with that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, she was. It was Deborah Winger, and she had this diaphanous. You sneeze on one side of the room and the material flips around. And we were going back from the back lot. Back to the soundstage, and Rick Waite was our famous cameraman, director of photography. He had a classic Jag that he just restored, and she said, "Oh!" and she climbed up on the hood, and you could see him go, "Oh God!" She said, "Don't move, don't scratch it." And she was going past me, and I don't know if I should say. Well, anyway, Harris Yulin played the bad guy. Very, very good actor.
Sure.
And we were waiting for Linda, and she had this outfit with these fiberglass cups, pointed, that looked like big ice cream cups or something. Yeah. But she was late, and he was kind of, getting frustrated, and had this cigar that was about this long. And he was playing producer, big double-breasted suit, and he takes the cigar out of his mouth, and he says, "Where's Eagle Tits?" Holy shit. So as Deborah is coming by, and I see her, and as I see her, with this stuff flying all around, I thought about that, and I thought, oh, Wonder Lumps. So it became Wonder Lumps and Eagle Tits for the rest of the show. I don't know if Linda knows about that.
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. I think that answered a little more than you wanted.
I like all the guys that are on dates in here acting like they wouldn't have loved to watch Eagle Tits and Wonder Lumps every night that show
I watch
was
that
on.
Fucking series every day.
Do you see her still? I mean, she still looks fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
She's incredible, and she was really sweet.
She's actually singing somewhere out here soon, just so you know.
Let's grab another question.
Yeah, do we have another question? Was it over here somewhere? Right here? Yeah, sure.
We got this guy right up here.
Here you go, my man.
It's at the party house.
Yes. So from the movie Airplane, aside from any gag that you were involved in, what would be your favorite gag from that movie?
Great question.
Oh, gags or lines or. One that always got me was Leslie and Peter. He says, "How long before you can land the plane?" Well, I can't tell you that. You can tell me I'm a doctor. Well, I just don't know. I says, "Well, can you take a guess?" And he said, "Well, not for another 2 or 3 hours." You can't take a guess for 3 hours? He said, no. I mean, we just can't land for 3 hours. That one always got me. And the one with Lane Bryant, who is the woman who actually did the Folger coffee commercial. I think it was Folgers. I can't remember which coffee.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
And her husband has eaten the fish, and he picks up the bag and throws up in it, and then he turns and looks at her and throws up again. It just rips me up every time I see it. But,
I love it.
Oh my gosh, do we have time for one more? If there is one,
yeah,
I think we had one more. One last question? Great. Perfect. Here you go.
Airplane 1 or Airplane 2?
Ooh. Wow. Dirty.
Airplane 1 or Airplane 2 what? Airplane 1.
Yeah, come on.
For several reasons. The first reason, the main reason is that the boys, Jerry and David Zucker and Jim Abrams, created it, and to me, they're geniuses. They're absolute. I mean, they just have the feel, the touch. They know exactly what to do, and they captured lightning in a bottle with it. And when Airplane 2 came along, and Ken Finkelman did that, and the joke had been done already, which is why the boys didn't want to do the second one, because they said, well, we've already done it. The joke's been done. So there were just tiny little things that in the cutting, it was better, I think, in the first one than in the second one. Just tiny things, but there were still things that my son, who's 29 now, but when he was a kid and saw it, the thing that he liked, his favorite line was from Airplane 2. And when they're on moon base, Alpha, Beta, and the door, shh, shh, and you make the sounds to make the door close. And so he says, William Shatner, he says, who's flying the shuttle? Who's flying the shuttle? And he says, some guy named, one of the passengers named Ted Stryker. He said, Ted Stryker? He says, yeah. You know him? He said, never heard of him. Well, that's not exactly true. Once we were like brothers. That's the line that got my son.
I love it. I love it.
But Airplane 1 is considered to be the one.
It's the piece. It's the best.
Airplane 1 is the one that's been put into the Library of Congress. Let's put it that way.
Hell yes. Come on. Guys, let's give a giant round of applause to Robert Hayes. Let's play a clip. Come on.
Just that whenever I start to talk about Elaine, I always get so carried away. I lose all track of time. I could go on for hours, but I'd probably start to bore you. I really couldn't blame Elaine. She wanted a career. When they built those roads, they had no thought of drainage in mind. So we had to take a special Jeep up to the main road. In fact, we were lucky to even get a Jeep, since just the day before, only one we had broke down in a bad accident.
Would you go up, please?
One more time for Robert Hayes. Let him hear it.
Just a prince among men, huh? Just a wonderful guy.
That was so fun.
When he mentioned Chevy Chase was the original thought for the thing, and then we were like, oh, wow, yeah. And he goes, or Barry Manilow. We were like, what the fuck?
I think that comes out of the whole disaster movie trope that they were trying to lampoon, in that all those movies were like, a lot of singers and people like that were the stars of those movies. When you watched like the Towering Inferno, and like they had casts of just like dozens and dozens of big stars, not necessarily big actors.
Yeah.
Because you could see them and they're just like, all you have to do is scream, like pretend you're scared in those movies. And then, I don't think it would have been the same without him. I can't imagine Airplane with somebody else in that part.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? They tried to make more of these movies. These like
they did it with varying degrees of success. I mean, the Zuckers and Abrams sort of partnership. They made the Naked Gun films,
right?
I think they were involved in Hot Shots.
Did they do Not Another Teen Movie?
I don't think they did that one.
No,
I think that was sort of like the next wave of those other group that's doing those.
Well, they're so damn funny, and this was just incredible. So thank you so much, Robert Hayes. Don't forget,
probably still holds up as I think it's probably one of the 3 funniest movies I've ever seen, with Airplane, Blazing Saddles, and just those 2. That's all I need.
And Spaceballs. I'm going to say Spaceballs because I loved Spaceballs. Mostly because of the word balls. Guys, this was amazing. Please check out thenighttimeshow.com. If you're in town, come on out to the Nighttime Show live at Hollywood Improv. And thank you so much for checking out the show. We love you guys.
And if you're in Orlando, we are coming to the MegaCon. So find us there. We'll be walking around.
I gotta buy my plane tickets. Get my ass out there. Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. You guys are the best.